So people need to know all the things God is to you so they know who he can be for them. This song almost took me out. And I was like, don't let it take me out before I minister, because I'm going to tell them about it then. So for me, God has been a very present help in the time of my trouble. He's been the God of my youth. He's been the keeper of my soul. He has been an unspeakable gift. He has been Jehovah. He's been Yahweh, with or without the vowels, however you want to call it. He's I am that I am. He's been the only father and daddy that I ever knew. He's my friend. He's my way maker. He's always been the lifter of my head. He's my hiding place. He's my redeemer. He's my Jehovah Shalom. He's my peace. He's my Jehovah Rapha. He's my healer. He's a living bread to me. He's Jehovah Jireh, because he's always been my provider. Let me tell you, I don't know how I had the stuff I have, but God is good. He is the one who calls those things to be not as though they were in my life. And this list continues to grow, because what you see standing here literally is a living, breathing miracle. So I'll share a small testimony with you, since I'm sitting up here saying share testimonies, and I'm like, gosh, you got to share one. All right, so back in 2020, at the end of 2020, I began to lose the sense of taste, and I began to have these excruciating headaches that would just sit me down no matter where I was. I could be on the interstate driving, and I would have to pull over for 5 minutes, anywhere up to 2 to 3 hours, because I could not see the driver do anything. I couldn't take care of my child. I was unable to work. My mom was taking care of me and my son, because I couldn't. And I was going to doctors telling them, something is in my head. I can take my fist, hit it right up in my head just like this, and maneuver and manipulate the headache. Nobody wanted to believe me. You're young, there's nothing wrong with you. So into 2001, I began to lose my ability to walk straight. I'm thinking I'm walking straight, and I'd be walking just like this, walking sideways, thinking I'm moving straight. And near the end of this whole ordeal, it got to the point where I would just fall. I would just drop to the floor. By the time the doctors got to the point where they did the MRI, my primary care doctor called me in tears. Back then, I wasn't as saved as I was now, so when she called me in tears, I had something real nice to say, because I'm like, what you crying for? I already know what's in my head. You just don't know. You know, I was waiting for you to figure it out. So I went to her office. She called the neurosurgeon. I immediately had to drive from Portsmouth to the neurosurgeon in downtown Norfolk. When the neurosurgeon saw the films, I promise you, I think she got some extra gray hairs on her head, because she called me into the office and she just looked like death. She said, I can operate on you. I have to operate on you right now to save your life. I was like, okay, I'm going to go home and get my son together and get somebody to keep him or whatever. She was like, no. I mean, literally, like right now, like today. You have to be operating on today. So I was like, what? So she says, yes, I'm going to be able to do one procedure on you today, but I need an operating room for a day to save your life. I'm only going to keep you alive right now, but I need to schedule an operating room to save your life. So that night, they placed a shunt in my head, got the hole here still to prove it. 4 days later, they got an operating room to do the procedure, where I had a tumor about this size that had completely wrapped itself around my brain stem. So it had started to cut off my sense of sight, taste, sound. It affected pretty much everything. So I was advised that after this surgery, I would have the results of a person who had suffered like a grand mal seizure and survived in that, or stroke, and I would never be able to work or take care of my son or do anything else again. And it was funny, because I said, okay, well, you know, you don't know my Jesus, so I'm going to let you operate, but he going to be the surgeon. So, and she looked at me, she said, well, you know, I'm going to try to invest in this Jesus. I'm going to see who he is. I said, well, check me out after surgery. You're going to know who he is. So that second surgery, I had an out-of-body experience. I watched the surgery with an angel, and I knew afterwards I was going to be okay. It took months of learning how to feed myself, walk, talk, swallow. my vocal cords are totally destroyed on one side. There's a study on file on me on at EVMS because of why can't she talk and half of her vocal cords don't even move. So when I hiccup, I sound like a slaughtered pig. You know, people laugh, we joke, we have all these stories. Every now and then I may misspeak or say a word wrong, but you know what? God is good. And that is my testimony. That when the devil came to grab me, Jesus pulled me right out of his hands. He went right into my head and he pulled that tumor out from around my brainstem. If I didn't have on what I had on, I'd do a cartwheel for y'all so y'all can see just how good I can move. But, you know. Ultimately, church, the power of testimony is directed towards glorifying God through your witness.